Protest was a way of life for Americans in the 1960s during the Vietnam War, but another war in a faraway place is bringing out protesters in America.
Stop the terrorism! Stop the terrorism!
I'm Jim Becca. When Israel began military action against terrorists using the Gaza Strip to fire rockets into Israel, Arab groups around the world began protests. In Houston, Israeli supporters and Jewish organizations were slow to organize, but they're making up for lost time. Saturday night, January 10th, they gathered together in front of a Starbucks coffee on Westheimer, across from a group of Hamas supporters. The Israel supporters and Hamas supporters were separated by Houston police officers and were not permitted to mix.
Stop the rockets! Stop the rockets! Stop the rockets! Stop
The Israeli supporters consisted of a mix of people. Some were Christians, Jews, Holocaust survivors, immigrants to Houston from the former Soviet Union, and Israeli citizens visiting relatives in the United States.
Well, there's been demonstrations for days and days on the other side, Palestinians holding up the signs of kill the Jews and death to Israel, and headlines all over the place call them peace demonstrations, and I don't think that's quite peace.
So what do y'all encouraging or advocating or whatever?
That's the message that's being sent out to Houston all over, is that that's a peace demonstration, and we want to get the truth out there that Israel is for peace. We've tolerated 6,000 rockets over the past 3 years into Israel, and we've just keep saying, stop sending the rockets.
Most of the protest was pretty civil, except for a few instances when Palestinians came over to the Israeli side.
Hamas are terrorists! 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 Hamas are terrorists!
The Israeli side was joined by 3 men who got off a bus to join the demonstration.
We just decided that this was a side that we'd rather go for, and we decided that it was the right thing to do.
And while I see some of the folks on their side of the street calling for peace and protection of innocent children, I'm also very disturbed by some of their other messages where they're calling Jews, not Israelis, Nazis, and using other anti-Semitic imagery, and it's very disturbing. On the other side of the street, I see a lot of concerned people, Israelis, Americans, Jews, Christians, all coming together to support a fellow democracy, and as a member of the media here, it's very inspiring. I was here earlier in this afternoon. I was standing in Starbucks and asking people what they thought of what was going on outside. I would say about 75% of them said that they understand that Israel is with the United States in its efforts to defeat terrorism, and they think that they have some clever slogans across the street and some nice chanting, but they see through the propaganda. I was very impressed. One of the women I spoke to was a Lebanese Christian woman who said that she very much supports Israel, but I can't use her name because she's afraid. She's afraid, and that says everything about their position across the street.
Westheimer is one of the busiest streets in Texas, and many motorists blew their horns and waved in support of the pro-Israeli group.
I came here to support Israel because I love this country, and it's biblically correct to be standing with Israel. The land was given to them by God, never to be taken back, always to have their land. And they train their children from the very beginning to love. They teach them to dance and to sing and to love. They don't teach them hate from the beginning like the others are doing. And I want to stand here with Israel as a member of the United States and say, Israel, I love you, and I stand with you, and I know that what you're doing to defend yourself is right.
We are staying in the land, we are staying in the land, we are staying in the land.
Amen.
America, take a stand. Pray for Israel. God bless you.
Well, I think strongly that we need to show that we are for peace and not for hate, and we want to be peaceful with the Palestinians, but not to deal with the terrorism.
Shalom Aleichem.
Palestinians for Israel! Palestinians for Israel!
What do you feel like you're accomplishing?
They've been here since 2 o'clock, and the only message that people are saying is the Arab message. We came here to give our message.
And the pro-Israeli message was a call for a stop to rocketing of Israeli civilians by Hamas.
I'm here to support Israel.
Why exactly?
Because Israel is a peaceful, democratic country and deserves to live free from terror. I'm with a group called Act for America, and we promote democracy and we resist jihadis.
Jewish, they never bomb a restaurant. Jewish, they never bomb nobody. In German, we just talking, and when we have to fight, it means that's a red line. So now it's a red line, man, and my brother's in the military right now fighting, and we're gonna go all the way until the terrorists gonna stop to attack. Because
It's awesome.
And the problem is that every time you see a rally, you look here and you see adults. You look over there, you see children. And what they do is instilling the hate onto the children. And it goes from generation to generation to generation. And it never stops.
Israel wants peace, and that's what this is completely about.
So Hamas, unfortunately, is the ones that are destroying the attempt that Palestinians have for statehood. That's a very sad thing.
Make sure that we have a clear path.
We're going to flip! We don't want to lie again!
I believe in Israel, and Israel is only democratic country on a Middle East between 22 Arab countries. I am Holocaust survivors, all family perished in a concentration camp, and no, we are not welcome, unfortunately, in no place except Israel. Israel takes everybody who ever want, and Israel is a peaceful country. We want a peace for everybody, for Jews and non-Jews.